wow us, right? You're going to show us, you're going to take everything that you've learned and you're going to show us how to do it, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, I'm Laura.
Hi, I'm Monica.
Okay, what brings you to the American Eagle today?
Well, I've shopped there for many years, so I'm familiar with the merchandise, and that would help me sell the merchandise to customers. And something that I really like about American Eagle is that every time I go in there, I'm greeted with a friendly atmosphere. The salespeople are always very helpful and will always help me with what I need, and I would like to bring that friendly environment to customers.
Okay, so do you have any other retail experience that you feel makes you qualified for this job?
Yes, I previously worked at Gap, and I was a sales associate, so I would work the floor and I would work cash register. So I'm used to being around people, and I'm used to having to help customers and pick out what they need.
Okay, great. And tell me about a time when you had to deal with a high-stress situation in your previous job.
High stress. Okay, definitely my first day of work at Gap, I had to start on Black Friday, and I was terrified because it was chaos, but when I got in the store, I did what I had to do, kept calm, helped the customers, all the customers with what they needed, did what my manager told me, and we all worked as a team and survived through that day.
Okay, so do you prefer to work in a group or to work alone?
I would say that I could do both. There was a time at Gap where I had to work alone, where my manager was in the back, and I was the only one on the floor, only one on the cash register, so I had to be able to take care of what was going on when it was just me up there. And then I can also work in a group, example around the holidays when we had to work as a group to get through the busy days. So I would say both.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Laura.
Hi, I'm Monica. I have a few questions for you today. Why do you want this volunteer position?
Well, I want this volunteer position because I'm highly interested in volunteering, and especially with disabled kids. For example, this past summer I volunteered with the Muscular Dystrophy Association of Knoxville. When I was there, I got to go to a camp this summer and volunteer for a week with kids who have muscular dystrophy. There's a variety of levels of disability. Some of them were in wheelchairs, and then there was the basics who just had leg braces. And also, my senior year of high school, I got to volunteer as a peer buddy, which was in the special education department, and there I got to work with kids. Some of them had Down syndrome, and then there was just a variety. Some couldn't speak, and then there was just a level of physical handicaps there, and I really enjoyed working with them.
All right. In your previous volunteer positions, tell me about a time that you faced conflict with people you were working with.
The most vivid one I can think of is when I was working as a peer buddy. There was a girl I got paired up with. Her name was Mariah, and she had Down syndrome. And when you're working with kids that have Down syndrome, you never know how they're going to act. One minute they could be really happy, and then the next minute they could just be really mad about everything. And this just happened to be an off day for her. And when I was trying to work with her, she just got really irritated with me and threw her folder across the ground. And then I had to get other assistance, but in the end it ended up being resolved.
Okay. Would this volunteer position benefit you later on in life? If so, how would it benefit you?
Yeah, I think it would benefit me definitely. I'm interested in a career in occupational therapy, so if I got this position at the rehab center, I think it would give me an overview of what it's like to work as a rehabilitative service member and what it's like to work with all those kids.
Okay, and would you say you work better by yourself or with others?
I think I could work either way. I prefer my independence and I like to work alone, but there's been situations where I've had to work in groups and I enjoy working in groups too, so I think either one would be fine for me.
Okay, it was nice meeting you.
Thanks.
Monica, first of all, let me say from the bottom of my heart, I'm so sorry you had your first day on Black Friday.
I prefer to do that.
Yeah, I just got thrown in there.
I like that you use, I work in retail too, and I recognize some of the terms that you use, I'm going to use it the floor, and said, totally show that you have some experience and that you're familiar with
Monica, I actually want you to beef up that Black Friday example. That says a lot about you. It's your first day, high uncertainty. I think a lot of people would have turned around, walked out, melted down. I'm sure those of you who worked in retail. No.
I would not even hire within 30 days of Black Friday or 30 days of back to school, because You knew that you were gonna just make them run out the door screaming.
Or tear off a customer's head, do something ugly. So I really think you have an opportunity to.
I don't know, the way they do it at Ruby Tuesdays is they'll make you work like a Friday or Saturday night, and the way they put it is you will either sink or swim. You'll figure out how to do it, or
In retail,
I
you
love
have
that
to know
style.
like the
Shut
walls
back.
though, like to where a clothing corresponds to where it's placed in the store, and you have to know.
Yeah.
Like, they each have their own. We have like their dressing room service, and where stuff is in the back. We have more, or is it all on the floor?
I definitely had difficulty
I don't
running
know
back,
how it
trying to
was.
find where everything was. That was.
Monica, I also agree with Dr. Dorgan that you
Dorgan.
should beef up the Black Friday example, because when I worked at Trailblazer, our version of Black Friday was 4th of July weekend, because you get 500 rednecks come in there wanting a bunch of beer and they're selling kegs and.
Except you don't answer it like this.
Like my whole thing, I would have to find a better way to word that, but.
That's what I love about you though, Isaac. You always have the truth just right there on the tip of your tongue. And you don't stop it from leaping out of your mouth. I mean, that's good stuff, but you do have to find a better way of saying it. And so I want you to beat that up. I also want you to watch this. How tall are you, Monica?
I'm like 5'8", 5'9".
And I don't know, that's all of me. So I find that a lot of women of a certain height start slouching. This is what I love about being a short woman, is that I'm so used to sitting up straight, and I want you to watch that. That I find that a lot of women, I don't know whether it's high school, elementary school, but those shoulders start going in instead of just being proud of who you are and sitting up straight, because it'll minimize you. Laura, talk to her about this example she offered with the client who threw what did she throw at you again?
A folder.
Folder.
Me talk to her.
Yeah, someone
Okay.
talk to Laura. Laura talk to Laura.
Confused,
No.
and there's too many.
Well,
Okay,
okay,
so-
you're not up there.
Well, you said talk to her, and so I was like, okay,
You
yeah,
can
so
talk
you
to her.
continue talking, and I was
I
like,
love my narcissistic students.
Um,
So someone talk to her.
I wish you would have been a little more clear about how the whole situation did resolve.
Yeah.
And that's what you said. They came over and then it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe like how you gained something from it too, because you were just, she threw the folder and I had to go help, and at the end, I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
You even used passive voice. That's what I want you. You said it was resolved.
Okay.
It was resolved. You hear that? One of the great things about passive voice is that it takes the onus off of someone. So if you say, you know, someone was hit at work, instead of Johnny hit Laura at work, you know, it takes the onus. But the problem with passive voice is that it sounds as if Laura didn't do her job. Do you hear that? It was resolved. How did you help resolve it, Laura? How did you help resolve
Oh,
it?
you're asking?
Yes.
I had to get the other special ed teachers, and they had to put her in a corner by herself. They had to like isolate her.
Well, and I want you to
Really?
work on that. Do you not see how remarkable that is? Do you understand how remarkable what you've done is in your work with special needs populations? I have a son who's special needs, and it becomes most people don't want to deal with that. The fact that how old are you?
19.
You're 19? Someone threw something at you, and you what?
Handled it.
You
didn't
handled it.
overreact.
You didn't overreact. You didn't snap. You didn't get up and take the. So I handled it. I took the folder. I smacked. I'll tell you what, folder will nip. That's what I'm talking about. See, but this is why I don't work in the industry, right? Because I go, what do you do? And I blow it out. You didn't. You maintained your pool. Then, when appropriate, you went and got someone to work with you because of legal and ethical and safety issues, following protocol. Do you hear the difference?
Yeah.
And then when we came back, we did a process which is called containment until our client was, had stabilized. You hear the difference? So I want you to work on it.
Okay.
And I want you to find yourself a heck of a lot more remarkable than what came across in this interview.
All right.
Because you are. I appreciate what you did. And my son will be dropped off to you one day.
Okay.
Like you're gonna notice in the recording, like before every question, you're doing what you're doing right now.
What, Maven? Yeah.
And you made it like,
Me?
yeah, you
Oh.
did it like 8 times before like the interview was over and I started looking at her. And like you, like I thought it was off that Jim Carrey movie where he was like. I thought that's how the starting was, and I was like, good God, I can't like it go. But besides that, it was very good on both sides. Besides that, it was very good.
Nice job, Coach. Okay, so quickly, 4:52. Thank you, Isaac. Let's go around. Let's get
You want me to still record?
Yes, you may stop. Thank you.
Stop it or?
Stop, please. So I'm getting ready to